2009 high school football season is in the books, and the Bentonville Tigers have run their record to a perfect 3-0 in the non-conference portion of their schedule. The Tigers played host to the Nettleton Raiders Friday night here at Tiger Stadium. Nettleton's hopes of knocking off the #1 team in the state quickly came to an end as the Tigers cruised to a 54-0 victory over the Raiders. Welcome everyone to the Tiger Football Report. John McElroy sitting alongside head coach Barry Lunny, head coach of the Bentonville Tigers. Coach Lunny, congratulations on your victory Friday night. And first thing I want to ask you is, you finished your non-conference portion of your schedule 3-0. Great job. How would you assess your team's progress at this point in the season?
Well, thanks, John. We, it was good to win your non-conference schedule. That's as we've talked about, last year and then already this year a little bit. The, breaking your season down in certain segments is what we try to do, and I'm sure everybody else does it too. But the non-conference stretch is important for us. Not only playing games, getting better, but getting us ready for the conference stretch, and to be able to win. This is the second year in a row that we've been able to go 3-0 in our non-conference schedule, and we're very proud of that. And as always, to be able to win at home is extremely important too. To defend your home stadium, make this place a tough place to play, and thanks to the great turnout of our fans and the large student body section that comes every Friday night, this has really turned out to be one of the, I think, premier places in the state of Arkansas for high school football on Friday nights. I had this feeling that we probably would play well, but you never know. And so I think that, that was as much as our approach as anything this week, is that we've got to take some steps forward as a football team, and quite, this thing would be harder for us to get ready for in some ways than it was going to be this coming week or even a playoff game, because everybody would be focusing on this. Just like conference season getting ready to start this week, well, it's a different deal, and I promise you're going to be able to feel that the practices are going to be different this week, and there's going to be a different atmosphere in the hallways and everything else because it's Fayetteville and conference. And so it was a great challenge last week, I think. More of a challenge mentally than it was out here on the field Friday night, and I was happy with the way we responded.
Well, we're going to get a chance to see how it all unfolded Friday night. We'll take a short break, but when we return, first half highlights. You're watching the Tiger Football Report.
The Tiger Football Report is brought to you by Bob Morey's Auto Body Incorporated and Jones Television, Channel 22. In a town like Bentonville, fewer things go better together than local teams and local business. And that's why the Bentonville Tigers would like to express their sincere appreciation to Bob Morey's Auto Body Incorporated for their support of the 2009 Tiger Football Report. Bob and Amber Morey are not only big Tiger fans, but they also have a staff of talented professionals who can easily handle all of your auto paint, repair, and glass repair needs. When they're done, your car will be spotless. So drop by and see them at 1019 North Walton Boulevard, or just give them a call at 479-271-7292. Bob Morey's Auto Body Incorporated, a proud sponsor of the Bentonville Tigers.
And we welcome you back to the Tiger Football Report. Well, Coach Lunny, here we go. the Nettleton Raiders, school out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, out of the 5A East, and we're getting ready to play a ball game here.
Well, we had an opportunity to, do what we want to do. They wanted the football, and we kicked off, and we pinned them back pretty good, and we're going to make them punt the football to us and really get unbelievable field position for the first drive. And I think it was 2 plays. We take the ball, and Courtney goes in. The thing you like about the opening part of this game, again, is we didn't make mistakes. Our blocking was very crisp. Our guys blocking on the edge. I thought our receivers did a real nice job blocking downfield. And most of the time in this, I think read the paper stats, I think we averaged a little over 10 yards per carry or per snap on Friday night. So, again, you can see that physically we were just the dominant football team up front, and Shane and Courtney and Pearson and those guys really pretty well had their way. But again, I got to go back like we talked about earlier. The part that I was so proud of is that we executed right. I can think of there was little things in every play that you could improve on. Don't misunderstand that. But with the exception of one or two plays when our first guys were in the, our varsity guys, our first string were in the game, we executed real well, and you can see that as we look at some of these first half highlights that we blocked up just about everybody.
Yeah, and that was the thing that we talked about in the pregame on the radio broadcast Friday night, Coach, was our 3 keys to victory or success is what we called it Friday night is number 1, got to execute.
Right.
And number 2, doing the little things each week that I know you guys emphasize and you see here in the highlights. That's exactly what's happening. And finally, the third thing we talked about, come out and at times it's tough, but you got to play with that intensity.
Yeah, and it's like on Thursday night in our meeting with our team, we always have this a little Thursday night meeting at 8 o'clock, some type of motivational film clip and highlights. And this week we showed mine and Coach Rachel's one of our favorite films, Best of Times, and Robin Williams and Kurt Russell and those guys that all reminiscing about the old days. They lost that ball game to their big rival, and they play an alumni game, and they start talking about it, and they all get excited, and they have this rematch. And we talked to the kids about you're going to have a stand on the home side anyway. It's going to be very full. They've come to watch you play. They're excited about it, and in that stand, in that setting up there tonight, are countless men who played the game. And they're either with their girlfriends or their wives or somebody telling them, hey, when I played, we did this. And, they're kind of reliving that a little bit, and they came with an expectation of seeing a good football team perform well. And let's don't disappoint them, because someday you're going to be sitting up in the stands, you're going to be talking about the opportunities you had on Friday nights, and let's don't waste one because we didn't prepare ourselves this week and get ready to execute the play.
That's a great point, Coach. And as we're looking at these highlights here, I think the Tigers in 2 minutes scored 28 points, and boy, I tell you what, that's you know things are going good at that point. Going
real good, and one of the good storylines that going back into this game we look back on was Sheldon Vanderpool, who hadn't played yet this year, has had an ankle injury coming through the preseason, and he probably could have played last week if we were in a championship type of game for conference championship or playoffs. He could have probably played last week, but we wanted him to be as close to 100% as we could going in a conference stretch. And he made a great catch on a touchdown, piercing through a really beautiful ball, and still almost overthrown, a little bit long, but he put it where he's supposed to, and Sheldon reached out and really concentrated and made a really fine catch, and he made another catch as well. Tyler Trudeau made a real nice catch just on a regular slant pattern, and then make a guy miss and then take it to the end zone. Tyler's another guy that ran track this year and has really worked hard in the off season to improve himself athletically. And it's good to see those guys catch and then run after the catch and really make some positive yards. And really the way Nettleton was choking everybody down, leaving one safety in the middle, they were determined they were going to try to stop the run. I mean, we had to take advantage of that, number one. And number two, we wanted to work on our passing game some more anyway.
You bet. That's really going to be key as you enter into this conference season. You guys, obviously, you've had some great running backs and had some really good things in the running game. But you've also got to be able to do the other things, the passing as you get into the conference season, to keep the defenses honest.
Well, and that's the pleasing thing. If we go back over the last 3 weeks, excuse me, I think that's the thing that one of the things we can take out of our non-conference schedule is we felt like when summer camps were over with, spring football and then our summer camp, that was one area that we had really improved in, is our passing game, not only throwing but catching, running routes better, and then catching and finishing the plays off. And I think that's been accomplished. I would like to have thrown a little bit more in some of the games, but when you're able to put up the numbers that we did as far as the score in the second half, you just don't want to rub it in on your opponent. So we didn't get to throw probably as much as we'd like to have, but at the same time, I thought we were real proficient when we did throw.
Well, at the end of the first half, the Tigers led 47-0. We'll take another break, but when we return, you'll see the second half highlights. You're watching the Tiger Football Report.
Award-winning Jones Television, Northwest Arkansas's 24-hour nonprofit cablecast is now on the internet. JonesTV.org features a first-hand look at what the station is doing for the organizations and people of your community. The site gives you access to the daily TV schedule, as well as various clips of shows hosted by local experts. And our community calendar gives local organizations the opportunity to promote upcoming events in Northwest Arkansas. Jones Television, Channel 22, bringing you timely community programming, public service announcements that benefit our nonprofit partners, and now an easier way to learn more about us. www.jonestv.org.
In football terminology, they're called the secondary. And whether they're breaking up a pass or chasing down the run, defensive backs are usually considered to be some of the fastest guys on the football field.
We got a bunch of good guys out there. I mean, that we all break on the ball great. I mean, you got Dakota Baggett, he's my corner. I mean, that cat, he's one heck of a football player. Christian Laramie, the other corner, I mean, he brings everything to the table. You got Nick Knighting, that's the other safety with me. He also doubles as a wide receiver, so I mean, he can do it all. I mean, he's fast, he can catch, and he can tackle.
The Tigers' 2008 defense was nothing short of spectacular, but coming into 2009, it was somewhat of a question mark. A lot of the seniors had graduated, but with the first 3 games of 2009 in the books, there isn't a question anymore.
So far, we've been real pleased with the way they've played, and fortunately, we've got some good young kids that understand the system and understand what we do, and our JV and sophomore program is successful, and they get their time in there, and it just kind of bumps up year to year, and we just kind of, I don't want to say reload, but we got kids that come in and understand the game and take their coaching well and you know, are able to play real well for us on Friday nights, what we've seen so far.
Yeah, there's one thing, just last year, we've learned a lot from the senior leadership from last year, and we tried to bring that and incorporate it into the defense this year, and that, you know, we might not have 10 seniors on defense, but we're a heck of a ball club, and we come in every day in practice, every day in the game, and we give our hearts and soul to the defense. And you know, that credit goes to the scout team offense. I mean, they work their butts off in front of us, and so when we get to games, it's more like a slower speed almost, because they're going hard every play. And so, I mean, we just work our tails off. Coach Gray, he's a great guy. He always is intense in practice, and that's the thing I like about him, is that he's always intense and he's always talking about game speed, and he's a guy that you can get along with easy and you can understand, and he's a player's coach, you know. He's on you when you do something wrong, but he's right there to slap you on the butt when you did something good. And he's just always intense and brings it, and that's, I think, where the secondary gets it, is because he's always so intense, so emotional in practice that we can't help but to be intense and aggressive.
You know, I really get to where I care for them a lot, and there's probably times where they go home and talk ugly about me because, you know, I've been hard on them in practice or something, but for the most part, you know, I'd hope they'd say the same thing, but we have a real good relationship with each other, and you know, I try to stay in touch with the kids even when they've moved on, and that's to me, that's one of the most neat things about being a high school coach is the relationships.
And with 2 shutouts already underneath their belt for the 2009 season, the Tiger defense has proven that it's a force to be reckoned with. For the Tiger Football Report, I'm Josh Irwin.
The little issue that we're in, John, is that I wanted to play my starters enough to make, you know, because we got conference this next week, you know, and it was important that those guys played and do some things that we were wanting to do. And, you know, we returned a punt for a touchdown. We returned another punt way back down to maybe the 5-yard line or somewhere in there, and then scored. So things kind of got out of hand early, and yet we still had I still had to leave my starters in and to try to execute some things and give them a little bit of playing time. And it got out of hand early, and I was hoping it didn't get to that point that quick. And so they asked, and obviously we obliged them. They're good folks, and again, we didn't want to have one of those 80-0 games, and so we let that happen and started playing some of our backups at this time. And I was I got to say this, I was real proud of the fact the way the other kids came in. Here's the other danger that you enter into. Sometimes you get in games like this and your backups get in, that gets real sloppy. You know, penalties and fumbles, can't get lined up right, and I'm very proud of our coaches, the organization that they have with these kids, especially on Monday nights. You can see what happened, what we did, Monday night, carry over on Friday night with those guys. By the way, we played Fayetteville Monday night in a junior varsity game and won that 28-0, and our guys did a great job. And so a lot of those guys were playing in the second quarter, and some even in the first quarter, and then we got in the second half. We had a whole bunch of I'd say just about everybody on the sidelines got in at some point. I think when we look back and we evaluate things, I think number one is, as I mentioned, we're 3-0. Number two is that we've had a chance because of some, being able to win most of these games fairly handily, get to play a lot of kids, get some experience for some of our younger players on Friday nights in the Friday night setting, which is really important for your program. And then thirdly is the fact that, the progress, as you said, where are we right now going into the conference stretch? And, to be honest with you, I'm very, very happy with where we are overall. Still got some question marks, to be honest with you, because of the last week's situation this past Friday night with Nettleton, them being down right now with their program. Didn't get to play a lot of our varsity guys very long. Week one against Conway, not as bad a scenario, but still didn't play a lot of our varsity guys late in the second half of that game. And so really the only true contest that we've had that's tested us somewhat has been Fort Zumwalt week 2. And even with that, they were pretty young on defense, and they were very good athletically, had some outstanding talent, but at the same time, they were fairly young. So, none to our fault that right now that the three programs are going through maybe a little bit different transition as far as number of varsity players and number of experience coming back, and so. Having said all that, we're happy where we are, but still a little bit unsure in some areas, especially on the defensive side of football, where we might be.
Well, this game, we prepared hard for this game. Even though some people say they weren't the best team, we come out here and we work hard for this. Our teammates, my teammates, push me to do the best that I can, and I come out here and perform like I can.
Well, it was a good experience, get out there and play with the first team. Defense against our second team, and it really helped us out, and I think we did pretty good.
I think that it gave some of our younger guys some reps, some varsity playing time. It showed us what we can do and the type of game that we play, and I'm glad with the turnout. I'm glad that we got to play like that. Yeah, we 54-0, but it was a great game, learning experience. Our defense is really, really bonded. We're a brotherhood. I trust every one of those guys, love them like my brother. Christian Larimer, he's my best friend. I love those kids. I can trust them to do what they're going to do when I'm going to do it. I can count on them, and we're a unit, and we're a team, and we win that way.
In a town like Bentonville, fewer things go better together than local teams and local business. And that's why the Bentonville Tigers would like to express their sincere appreciation to Bob Morey's Auto Body Incorporated for their support of the 2009 Tiger Football Report. Bob and Amber Morey are not only big Tiger fans, but they also have a staff of talented professionals who can easily handle all of your auto paint, repair, and glass repair needs. When they're done, your car will be spotless. So drop by and see them at 1019 North Walton Boulevard, or just give them a call at 479-271-7292. Bob Morey's Auto Body Incorporated, a proud sponsor of the Bentonville Tigers. Teaching young men the value of hard work, discipline, and respect has been the profession of Bentonville High School head football coach Barry Lunny for the past 31 years. As a young man, Coach Lunny learned the value of those principles playing football for Fort Smith Northside.
Well, Coach Lunny came into our program with a vision, and that was to take our program from where it was and turn it into something special, something with tradition. And over the years, that tradition's been being cultivated, being built, and that was something that I'm very happy and proud to be a part of. He's a man that's brought character and has tried to have his men follow his example in that character, and taught us that character is more important than the actual talent, and that your power and way of winning comes from within, and being the complete person that you can be.
Lunny began his career as a head football coach at Beebe back in 1988. He then built a 15-year dynasty as the head coach of Fort Smith Southside, leading the Rebels to 4 state titles. In 2004, Lunny was offered the opportunity to build a new championship program with the Bentonville Tigers.
I just felt really a stirring in my spirit the last 2 years that really was directing me to another challenge, just another chapter of my life. And I didn't really understand it, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. But this chapter of my life in coaching was coming to a close, and it's been very special. It always will be. There's nothing that can take that away. But it seems like it's time for another chapter, another challenge in my life, and very excited about it.
If it wasn't for him, I mean, we wouldn't be here right now. Coach Lunny has put together just a massive masterpiece that's evolved into like a dynasty. I think with his program and with our coaching staff, we can really look forward to being in the state title multiple times, more years, like back-to-back years, I think, with the coaching staff and the way that this program's being run. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't, like I said, we wouldn't be here right now.
And although Coach Lunny's record is very impressive, with many winning seasons and 5 state titles now under his belt, Lunny's job goes far beyond X's and O's.
Coach Lunny to me is pure honesty. He tells you how it is, what we're going in there to do, and he just sets an example every day for how a good Christian leader should be. And I've taken a lot from him as far as how you hold yourself during tough questions, and when the fire's really on you, how you bring people around you together to become a leader. And I think that's what the defense and the offense became, is just leaders for each other. Whenever one of us was down, he showed us how to pick each other up and really contribute.
As coaches go, Barry Lunny's pretty straightforward. To him, football is a game that requires one element above all else to be successful. That element is hard work.
Every week we're so prepared. By come Friday, we know what we're doing. We know our game plan, and we went 12-1, won the state championship. Apparently, we executed. So and just a lot about the coaches. And just Coach Lunny and his staff coming here and just building this football program that, previously wasn't very good, and he's built it into a championship program. And that just goes to show you how great of a coach Coach Lunny and his staff is. The TAC's my second home. I mean, I've slept here before, not overnight, but we're up here a lot, and it all paid off in the end.
Before each game, Lunny always returns the minds of his players to solid ground and the fundamentals of the game. Lunny's game maxims are part of his fundamental formula for victory.
Whenever we look at those, it makes us more focused. Instead of thinking about all the hype and all of the pep, I think whenever we sit down and read over that, it makes us more focused on our job on the field.
Both on and off the field, Lunny leads his players from the front, serving not just as a coach, but also as a mentor to this dedicated group of young men. And in a day and age when religion itself seems to be under attack, Coach Lunny is a man who stands strong in his faith, leading his team in prayers for safety and humility before each game. And these players who participate in the prayers willingly very much appreciate it.
For me, I'm one of the FCA leaders on our team, and he's the type of guy that would open up his home over the summer for us to come and meet and have a core group of guys that leaned on each other and not only built that physical part of our lives, but also the spiritual lives and being the best men that we can be. It meant a lot to me. It was something special to play for a guy who had the same beliefs that we do, and really had a way of working that into football and making it part of life.
Coach, now that you've wrapped up the non-conference schedule, things get a little more intense now as you open up with Fayetteville next week. Give us your thoughts on next week's ball game.
You know how hard it is to win on the road in this league, and these are two extremely important games for us, but none any more important than Friday night in Fayetteville and trying to get off to a good start to have a chance to compete and hopefully win a conference championship before the year's over with.
As we look to next week for Fayetteville, what does Fayetteville have? What are the things we're going to look for?
Well,
Fayetteville next Friday?
Brandon Allen, let's start with him, the quarterback. You know, coaches at Bobby Allen's son, who coaches at the University of Arkansas, started last year, broke, I guess, all their records at Fayetteville, or if he didn't break them all, he got a lot of them. Great arm. He's got the it factor, which we call, is that he just understands the game. He's grown up around it all his whole life, and strong arm. And last week he ran for over 100 yards. And even though they tied Russellville came back to tie that late. He had over 100, I think 120 some yards rushing to go along with his, the passing yards and touchdowns that he had. They've got outstanding receivers. And by the way, he's already been offered by Arkansas scholarship, as well as Brandon Dean, their big wide receiver, who'll probably play tight end in college, has been offered. They got a kid named Heinzman, who's their leading receiver right now, has got great speed. They've got in their skill people, those receivers, running back, outside of probably Northside, they got the most speed on anybody we're going to see this year, and those guys can really fly. And that's going to be a challenge, because you can get out of cover. You can bust one assignment in the secondary, or have a guy fall down in the secondary, and or even a short pass. They do a lot of quick passes, tunnel screens, and if you can't get on them real quick, they are dangerous. They could take it, as they did against Jeff City. They just turned a little hitch pass into about a 78-yard touchdown, and that's the danger they've got. And so we're going to have to play, and it goes back to what I said to you earlier. We haven't really been tested with a quarterback and the skilled people, although Zumwalt had some great receivers. The quarterback doesn't throw near as well as this young man does, and so it's going to be, our defensive football team is really going to be pressed this week.
Well, it all gets started this week as the Bentonville Tigers travel down I-540 to take on the Fayetteville Bulldogs. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Tiger Football Report. We'll see you again next week. So long, everyone.
3-0. It's 2 years in a row. Non-conference game schedule has been completed. I don't care who you play, how you do it. And we've played a couple of good teams, better teams than this, obviously. But the real deal starts this week. Some people don't understand it. I've been in this league. I've been in this league longer than any of the coaches. That just means I'm old. I understand that. I've seen about 35 or so coaches come and go in this league since I've been in it, head coaches. So I've been through a lot, and I'm going to tell you this. The second season, the conference season, is extremely important to this football coach right here. The second season, the conference season, is to me. I take a lot. If I take a lot of pride in anything, one of the things I do is that is winning a conference championship in the toughest, best conference in this state, in one of the best, toughest conferences in the entire region. But for the vast majority, this league is every Friday night. And when I quit coaching, whenever that is, if I were to look back on any accomplishments, it would be winning a conference championship. It means a lot to this guy. Now, I like the third season too, the state tournament play. But this is the best league, and to be the best in the best league is important and special. Plus, it gets you home field advantage, and you win another conference championship and all that. And we got 7 weeks, and it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a war every Friday night. And I like going to battle with what I got right in here. I promise you that. Stay with me. Make sure you take care of yourself, do what's right, be where you're supposed to be. You know the right things to do, man. Make sure you protect the integrity of this football team and yourself and this football family. All right? Make sure you do that. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Get this thing cleaned up. Where's John Mark?
Hey, baby! Tigers, what is your profession? Oh, oh, oh! Hey, y'all come back working hard on Monday, baby. Let's go! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Win!